Well, it is that time again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My name is Bird Dog John, and I am back in action.
In those scenarios, it's good to neuralize the cameras. You guys know that best.
Very straightforward. Plug it in, go to the web UI, link the source, walk away. You know, like super simple. I keep looking over at the chat, and I keep seeing you are full of it. Tasty, spicy meat snacks. Covered in flavor. I mean, you can't go wrong. So what's going on? We've got a handful of folks here in the chat, and I really appreciate that. What's up, mate? Hey, Warren, how are you? Appreciate it. Hey, Robbie, how's it going, man? We're just talking about you. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy. How is it going? What's going on, Go Web? Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. Appreciate that. I feel like I'm in this video more than anyone but John. It's true, NetApp. You are, I'm going to cut this up and put this in the next intro.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
What is going on, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to another hour of the Bird Dog John support show, Bird Dog Live, whatever we're calling this thing. Yeah, we're back, and here we go again. Now, this is a bonus show because technically I should be at home getting ready for a trip that I'm going away on this weekend. But I love you guys so much, and I don't want to miss it. And so, make you guys a little priority here and make sure that we at least spend an hour together at the end of this week, answer your questions and all that sort of good stuff. So, really excited. This week, there's been like this emphasis on some of the recording stuff that I've been doing for some of the education items that I've been speaking to you guys about, and I had several people from Australia mention it oddly all within 24 hours, and so I thought I better get back on that and start recording stuff. So this week, for a couple of days this week, I have spent time doing a couple of the lectures that I've been working on, and so we're compiling a lot of the education stuff, and then we'll be using that to kind of educate the market when it comes to bird dogs. So we're trying to make more brand awareness. It is not sales pitchy, it's supporty. So supporty, is that a word? So it is support driven as far as I'm concerned. And I'm kind of keeping the marketing and the sales guys at bay because I don't necessarily want it to be like, and that's why you should buy a bird dog product. Really what I want to do is you've already purchased the bird dog product, or you're wondering why should I purchase it, and this is how you use it, and this is how you set it up, and this is how we like to at least think that it will be used. So, we're pretty excited about that, and it's coming together slowly, but there's been a greater emphasis on it the past couple. Oh, hey, look at that. There's been a greater emphasis on it the past couple of days, and so I have been redoing a lot of that and trying to get, these are the busted. All right. I should probably explain what it is here. Focus, John. I'm working on that. And then there's also a massive project going on that kicked off at the beginning of the year with some of the products that we have here in the office. We need to get them back to manufacturing. And so that's kind of happening behind the scenes. I got 3 agents that are basically constantly looking at tickets. I got another guy that's partially doing that project and also the project I just mentioned. And then he's also handling like all the shipping and receiving and all of that. And so he's really busy, and he's also in some of the tickets and coordinating things between the sub departments that I kind of have set up here. So really cool that it's all playing out the way that it is, but it's going to go quickly, and January is going to evaporate, and it's already we're almost halfway through January, folks. So crazy how quickly that happens. It is the 12th, and give it 2 more days or 3 more days, and we'll be halfway done. So that is the next time you see me, we will be on the second half of the first month of the year, and it feels like we just got here, right? So every month I say this, I'm like, there goes another month. That was quick. Here we go again. I mean, it's the same situation. So those projects are underway. I'm working on a little like education stuff, and then I'm doing this show, also running the office, but also then we have some folks coming into town in February, so we're kind of gearing up for that. We have NAB, which is the biggest thing that we do on this, I think, in terms of show-wise. It's the biggest show that we do, and that all gets coordinated out of this office, and shipping and all of that happens here in the middle of that other major project that's happening with manufacturing. And then Right after that, then we get into summer months, which is the winter months over in Australia. We get into the summer months, and then we're pushing into, so summer vacation for agents and whatever. And there, people are kind of coming and going, and then we get into fall. So it like happens so fast, and who knows what sort of trips are on the horizon for whoever. Um, maybe people are coming over here, maybe we're going over there. We have no idea. So it is going to be a busy, busy year, and it's already started off really fast. So good stuff. Hey, what's going on from Stockholm, Sweden? The blue smiley face. It's a shame that didn't translate over here into actually an emoji, but I really appreciate the optimism and positivity that you're sending from all the way over in Sweden. Zelda vibes with this music. Yeah, what's going on, Benjamin? For sure. Somebody, I think it was Silas, he had said last week, he's like, man, this music is fire today. And I like the playlist. I've been weeding out the ones that I don't really care for, and I'm making it more like exactly what I want. And so I should probably save that playlist. I don't even know if I did that on, I did weed out a song last week. I'm going to save this playlist because, yeah, it keeps getting better and better. And the music is not, the music is not being used. Here we go. Obviously, during the show, I'm not playing the music. It is only on the start and stop screens, and so the starting and ending screens. But it's great. It's a good. It will have the countdown, so you know that the stream is live and you can see it going. But then the music as well kind of helps with the auditory part of that, and it's a nice little ramp up and ramp out of the show. So I think it works really well. I also had to fire up my Stream Deck this morning because I came in and none of the buttons were working. It turns out that the program had shut down, so the screen was on, but whatever. But this is like all of my sound effects and everything, right? Or all of my sound bites. So I like to have that.
I needed that.
I like to have that available, and just in case I need it. So yes, I agree with the Zelda vibes. That is that's part of that playlist. I actually quite like it a lot. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy! As usual. A question. After the last P200 update and keyboard update, I noticed switching the cameras using the F keys is slower than it used to be. Any known fix besides manually changing the camera? So you have... That's an interesting observation. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind, but then again, my agents may know more than I do at this point. One of the things that I would be tempted to play around with, if that is true, or that's what you're experiencing, is playing around with the API preset command call. So you can tell the function button what to do, right? Like in the menu, but on the web UI, you can also go in and change it to API and then just copy and paste the API for the preset recall in there and see if that's faster. Honestly, it should be the same thing, but maybe it needs to be done through the NDI chip, and that would be pretty responsive. So I would play around with that. If that's true, that you are seeing a slower response time on the keyboard, then the other option is changing those function buttons to API buttons and calling them that way and just seeing if it's faster. If it is, that's a very interesting discovery. Again, I don't know if it is on all keyboards. I could have my guys test it and see if they could come up with something. But yeah, that would be a very interesting discovery if that's the case. And you're comparing it to the previous firmware update, right? So were you on 195 or were you on like 210 or whatever it was before that? Just curious what firmware you were on and what one after. I agree. It is a good idea. Any word on the updates to the Crestron module for the new API? No, but I do know that is on the priority list because the integration piece is of high importance these days. So definitely, they're definitely looking into that for sure. Hey, how wide is the camera angle for the PF120? Well, this is a PF120, and it's pretty much at the. This is a real world example. It's like right here, so it's an arm's length away, just a couple of inches beyond that. And I don't know if it's all the way zoomed back. It may not be. But I'm assuming you're wanting the technical specs and not my not my subjective. I believe that those are on the text box. Let me pull that up real quick and see if I can find something on that. BirdDog.tv/PF120 text specs. Should have the actual angle on there. Field of view 55.8 degrees wide to 3.2 degrees um, telephoto. So 55.8 degrees. Does that help? That's actually more information than I thought we would be able to provide you with. So that's impressive. But that is the degrees in which the website claims, and that information. So the PF120 is one of the BirdDog build cameras that we designed and integrated and whatever, and so that information is probably pretty accurate. It's not taken from Bolin, the manufacturer, and just regurgitated on the website. It is probably to spec as to what that lens can do. So, hey, great questions this morning, guys. Really appreciate that. So this show will be an hour. I got a hard stop at 12, and well, we'll see. I should probably set an alarm or something. But I need to hard stop at 12, mostly because I have to get out of here, and I gotta go home and gather my things and be ready to jump in the car and go to the airport when my wife gets home with the kids. Yesterday, my sister had the pleasure of navigating the airwaves in the United States, and as many of you probably observed, either near or far, the NOTAM system failed, and what that means is nobody is able to see what other airplanes are around them in the air, and so it's highly dangerous, obviously, because there are tens of thousands of airplanes above the United States at any time. So that is how that kind of was going on, and my sister was waking up and headed to the airport, and of course it was like a scene from a sitcom, because so she was flying United, and I read the tweet that came across on my phone. Marquez Brownlee, he was like, can confirm on a airplane that was headed towards the runway and now turning around and coming back. So I thought, what's going on here with that? So I open it up and I look at it. Sure enough, the whole system had glitched and they were turning it off and back on again to get it up and running. Kind of true, actually. So I started thinking, oh, geez, what does that mean for this flight for my sister coming up, who is going to watch our kids graciously for the next couple of days? And well, my wife and I fly down to work at this conference for a few days. And I look it up, and one of the news articles said some major airlines are still operating business as usual and using other technology to fly their planes. And I was like, oh, good. Like maybe Delta, United, maybe American or whatever. And then it said the next paragraph, but United has grounded all of its flights. Like they knew that's the company I was looking for, and they specifically named it. But United has grounded all their flights. And I thought, oh, great. So it's going to be a whole day of this. So when I actually booked the flights for my sister, and I was really apologetic because she was going to have like a 5-hour layover in Denver. And she's coming up from Texas. She's going to stop off in Denver and then head over to Detroit. And so she had like a 5.5-hour layover or whatever. And then she was in Lubbock for 3.5 hours or whatever, or 4 hours or whatever it ended up being. And she did get on a plane and then did get to Denver. And then when she landed in Denver, that plane got delayed by an hour, which was a stroke of luck, because if she had landed at the time she did and then the flight was on time, she would have had 20 minutes to get across the Denver airport. And if you've ever been to that airport, and by the way, side note, go to Google and type in Denver airport conspiracy theories. It is rich. Holy cow. I stopped in Denver one time, and my sister actually was like, oh, you're stopping in Denver? You should Google Denver airport conspiracy theories. Wow. It is. There are some ones that are like, ooh, that is a deep conspiracy, and there are others that are like, yeah, that actually appears to be true. So yeah, anyways, there's a little side trip for you if you have nothing to do on this beautiful Thursday morning. Anyway, so she got in, and the way that it worked out was that her plane got delayed by it said 35 minutes, but it ended up being about an hour. So she got in super late last night, but I was thrilled that she made it, and she got picked up, and she was in good spirits, and we had a good ride home, which is about an hour from the airport from my house. And then had a short night because the kids and wife had to go off to school. But then we had a chance to sit and chat this morning, so that was nice. And I'm very pleased that she's here now. Fingers crossed that everything's business as usual today on. Today is business as usual with our flights. So far, so good. Although we are flying kind of later today, and we have a very short layover in Atlanta. So everybody, cross your fingers or whatever it is that you do to make the universe work correctly. Please wish me luck at least as I attempt to navigate U.S. air system. However, it is Delta, and they are usually pretty good out of Detroit because it's a major hub. So I'm confident there. Everything says it's on time. I'm also going to be getting into my destination super late, but it should be good. So we're excited. I'm excited. It'll be great. It's one thing to go down and like have a great experience and like be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, right? But then there's also a layer of I'm a parent, and my wife is a very active parent, and so to have somebody in town that we're confident that we don't have to worry about this situation is also great. So we're very grateful to have family who are willing to fly across the country on the worst day to fly so far of 2023, just to make all this happen. So shout out to her for making that happen. Some of you, let's jump back to this chat here real quick and just follow up. Are you headed to ISE this year? Me personally, I have not been purchased a ticket to go, but I do know that the crew in Europe is planning to be there. So there's a big team now, a bigger team than just Phil in Europe. And so he is going to be there leading the squad at ISE from what I can tell. And you're in good hands. If Phil's in charge, all good. He's a good guy. So I personally am not planning to be there. Maybe they may stick me on a plane quickly. I know last year I think Jake got put on a plane to Barcelona like last minute. Maybe it was this, or maybe it was the one later maybe it was the one later in the year. But anyways, it was a last minute thing, and he's like, okay, guess I'm going there. So me personally, I won't be there, which is a shame. I'd love to go and see it because I've heard good things. Q55, so like 35 millimeter lens. Yeah, that sounds right, actually. One moment, please. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Yeah, where is it here? So the lens, it says 5.2 to 104 millimeters. Matter of fact, let me do you a solid here and just I'm going to stop the playlist and throw up the desktop because this should be helpful. So this is the actual tech specs here. So they say, they pitch it this way, really, the CMOS, the size here, but the lens itself is 5.2 to 104. So I don't know if that's actually helpful. 20 times optical, which is what matters. Field of view is 55.8 degrees at full wide. And if we really want, we can show that. Let's open Studio Monitor. Where are we at here? Here we go. And get all my sources going here. PF120 is here. If you really want to see what this looks like, this is all the way back. We're not zoomed in at all. So at an arm's, I got a 3-foot arm span. So at 3 feet away, this is kind of your field of view. And then if we really wanted to see what she's capable of, we can zoom in all the way. Obviously autofocus, that's far too close for autofocus to figure out what is going on here. Let's see if we can't get her to turn a little bit at least. And yoink. Yoink. Oh, so close. So it may just be slightly too far, but like if I put my hand in front, yeah. But if we back off a shade, then she seems to find out what she's doing here. It doesn't actually appear that Studio Monitor is manipulating this focus. Maybe I got to do this on the web UI. Yeah, because it definitely doesn't look like it's doing anything there. That's odd. Anyways, there's some real world. The PF120. I love this camera. seriously, it is one of my favorite cameras that Bird Dog makes, and mostly because it's so basic. It's so easy to um, troubleshoot that it's so nice in that regard. Like very little can go wrong. It's a really nice camera, and you know, simple to use. Set it up, forget it. Have a great image. Greetings, hey Tyler. Greetings from South Africa. So cool that you're checking in from South Africa. For all of you guys that are checking in at like non-conventional hours just to be on the show and hang out with me, kudos. I uber appreciate that. That's so cool that you guys do that. And South Africa, that's quite the destination. So I'm going to Google the Denver airport conspiracy theories. Yes. I won't say it's well worth your time, but but hey, if you need something to do, it is quite the journey that you will travel on to hear about the Denver airport conspiracy theories. Good stuff. Imagining you being picked up by the collar and thrown onto the plane and being told to perform at a show like a dance bookie. uh, not really. No, I don't think that's the plan. I hope that's not the plan. Am I? I'm not logged in here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can access the Facebook group for this conference without actually, without logging in. Yes, it appears that I can. So we, I'm a part of a worship team that works at this conference, and we did it a few years ago, and it was a lot of fun. Where are we here? My goodness. Okay, so let me throw this up here so that you can see what I'm looking at. Make that full screen. Yoink. So this is the group, and many of these folks will be there again this year, but this is kind of their stage and whatever. And it's a huge group. I think it's well over 1,000 students that go to this one. So it's college age people that the conference is generally for. But I'm actually not doing production or anything. I'm actually on stage performing, so that'll be a different change of pace for me. I don't know. Maybe people think that I perform on here, but it's really cool, and the technical side of it's really nice. Actually, the years. Let's see. They do a pretty good job with their stream. Like I've been pretty impressed with the way that their audio stream goes. It's clear that they are having to work with a budget. It's just not endless, but for what it is, it's pretty good. And if you can't make it, it's nice to kind of watch it. So the conference is called Gulf Coast Getaway. That's where I will be. And it goes from Friday evening here in the U.S. in Florida all the way to Sunday evening. And so there are 5 sessions that will all be on Facebook. If you go to their Facebook group, Gulf Coast Getaway, and then you can see the streams there as they're happening. And I believe the schedule, however it is that you say this, is, where are we here? So the schedule for this conference, here it is. So the main sessions are, the first session on Friday is from 9 to 10:30. Oh, yikes, that's going to be late. So 9 p.m. Eastern time to 10:30, and then next morning 9:30 to 11, 9:30 to 11 a.m., and then 8 p.m. to 9:30, and then again the same on Sunday, 9:30 to 11, and 8 to 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. So it's pretty cool. They do a bunch of like breakout groups and whatever, and it's a good time. So that's where I'll be if anyone's interested in knowing. And you might even see me on camera if you watch the live show. So that'll be a different Bird Dog John experience, that's for sure. At least for you. But I am not being, I'm hoping that they're not going to throw me on the airplane by the collar and then make me dance and sing like a monkey. That is the quote of the show, I think. Okay. And what time we got? Okay, so it's almost 11:30. So what I might do here is introduce, thank you, Balu, for, oh, that's interesting, not working. One of my Stream Deck options isn't working. So Balu went to the store and purchased a Snacks on Stream item. And so we got to get that going because if I'm going to try and have a hard stop at noon, we got to have a little time for that to happen. So
John's just making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Wish me luck, folks. It's my first Vegemite experience. Final, this is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing.
Good golly, this is something else, man.
Here's the thing about Pop Rocks, and I don't know if I'm the only one like this. Pop Rocks have always been a social experience for me.
I did not think that is what you were going to say. That's hilarious.
That is awful. Oh, gosh, that's so bad. Jeez. Holy smokes, man.
Yep, it's that time again. Snacks on Stream. Pretty exciting stuff. And today we are going to try Jacob's Jaffa cakes. Jaffa, not Java, not coffee, disappointingly enough, but Jaffa, Jaffa. Now, hang on. Got to clear the palate with some black coffee. Brayton made coffee today, and shout out to Brayton. It's excellent. It's excellent black, which I don't normally drink in black, but it's really good today for some reason. Or maybe I just really need coffee. So the thing that I noticed right away is the little slogan that they have here at the bottom of this. 10 spongy cakes covered in dark chocolate. Okay, so we're safe there. With that squidgy, orangey center. What is squidgy? Like, I have no idea what they mean by squidgy. Orangey, okay. It obviously there's like orange in there, but it looks as if there's orange, like an actual orange slice in there. But certainly that's not possible, and not for something that can sit on the shelf and will expire in August of this year. So I don't know what squidgy is. It does have the caloric intake. It's apparently 3% of your daily intake. If your typical intake energy values are 1,500 kilojoules a day, this is 3% of that per cake, evidently. So, yeah, watch out. Let's see. 1 gram of protein. What's the 50 calories per cake? So, crazy. This says, hey, be happy on the back. We just need to probably read this little warning label. It looks like a warning, but it says be happy. At Jacob's, we are proud of our biscuits and passionate about good quality and taste. Our biscuits are baked with care for your enjoyment. If our biscuits reach you in less than perfect condition, please let us know! ! Please let us know! Simply return the product and its packaging to our quality team at the listed address. Your statutory rights are not affected. Wow, that is that's something, man. That's an interesting warning. It's kind of like a warning, but this comes from Dublin, so it's a European delicacy, evidently. We have some chatter now with this. Oh dear, Americans doing Jaffa cakes. Please let this not ruin. Jaffa cakes are the most British thing ever. Am I saying it wrong? Jaffa? What is it? The people that incubate the. Wait, what? This is a Stargate reference? Is Stargate still relevant? I haven't thought of Stargate in ages. Well done. The orange jelly under chocolate on a piece of dense sponge. The debate is whether they're cakes or biscuits. Oh, interesting. And Mr. Gecko or Mrs. Large Gecko, no gender. Sorry about that. Large Gecko 27 says, "Indeed, indeed, indeed." All right, here we go, y'all. So, first of all, I would like the record to be set. I'm a Canadian, not American. Before you say North American, just stop because that's not what American means in this country. So Canadians trying these cakes in which now I'm not convinced I'm saying the name right. So this is actually not, the cake is not what I thought it was going to look like. A little sneaky. So I thought that this was going to be, I guess, yeah, okay, it's like a cookie with a chocolate top and orange in it. Ooh. But they are soft. Interesting. For reference here, I don't have my 4K SDI unit that we normally use to compare. So today I will use a Bird Dog Mini, which we all know and love. So for size comparison here, folks, here's a Bird Dog Mini up against one of these orange cakes that we're about to try. Little handful, and it's kind of crumbly. So I'm all about that. Let's have a go and see how this works out. Oh, I'll turn this back on. All right. Oh, that's interesting. It's not quite well. Before I let me finish. Okay. First off, I'm used to having things like with chocolate and orange. You know those chocolates that you can buy at the store usually around Christmas time or whatever. And they have that like orange cream in them. It's like dark chocolate with orange cream. My brain was kind of expecting that. This is a little bit different. It's not that exactly, but kind of like them actually. So it's a really thin layer of chocolate on top. It's a fair bit more orange than you're expecting, like orange jelly. And Tom is correct. It is orange jelly. It's not a cream. It's a jelly, and it's a little more solid. And then the cookie's great. The cookie is or biscuit or whatever it is that we're talking. What's the debate? Are they cakes or biscuits? Well, I could see why either could be considered, I guess. They're definitely the size of a cookie, at least here in the U.S. I mean, it's about the general size of an Oreo, but obviously, then in Europe, that would be considered a biscuit. Then a cake. Cake, I'm expecting. You know what I'm expecting when you say the word cake? I'm expecting. Do you guys know what Joe Louis are? Let me look them up. I am expecting this when you say cake, and it's not this. I'll put it that way. So Chrome, this, share that. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting, and those are about the size of your hand, like that your at least your inner palm, if not a little bigger, and they are straight up chocolate cake, like birthday cake type of texture, and thin chocolate shell, nice and crumbly. I grew up eating these. Was like if you got one of these, that was the best day. So, yeah, good stuff. Hey, what's going on, Go Web? Greetings. I'm traveling. I'll watch this later. Sounds good. Shout out to you. Thanks for checking in anyways. Getting on the show. I binged Stargate during COVID. It's a classic. Well done. I should probably do that because I haven't gone from start to finish there, but I got a little confused because it like kind of kept going. Like it was a movie once, right? And then it turned into a TV show, and I think I saw the movie at a friend's house or something. Shocker, when I was younger, I was a nerd. I mean, not anymore, right, guys? Chocolate made for the American market is a fear of Europe. Ooh. Interesting. What chocolate are you fearful of? Because that is an interesting statement? Like is it like it's low grade, it's not refined enough, it's not fit for the queen? What sort of where are you on that? Like, are you used to only eating chocolate from Switzerland or something? When you bite into this, that that chocolate shell has a really satisfying like break. Really, that's probably the most satisfying thing about this experience is the texture of that chocolate cracking when you bite into it. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, these are good. Well done, Balu. Well done. I don't love it. Well, just means that you're your own person, man. That's all that means. Actually, don't mind it. And since you've already had them and you don't like them, I'm going to binge eat these now for the rest of the show. And maybe spare a few for people that are out in the lobby working, closing tickets. But maybe if I kind of like forget, forgive me. I would eat the lot of them. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. So Frink, I need to save a couple for probably the boys out in the lobby. Let's see then. There's 10 of them. So if I save them 2 each, let's ration these out. Okay, so I got 2 more to go. And then I'll save the rest and let them, and any ones they don't want, I'm going to eat. Good times. You can have the whole. Are there more in the pantry? Because heck yes, man. I watched a Canadian scientist YouTuber make his own chocolate bar, starting with the fresh raw cocoa plant. Wow. Is it David Suzuki? Nope. We have another pack in the lobby. Yes. You can have mine, and yes, there are more out here. Yes. All right, I'm going to eat Brayton's too, so I'm just going to like put these aside, and if there are more in the lobby, that's even better. Oh, I just made a mess of this keyboard. It's not supposed to rattle, right? Hey, what's going on, Robbie? Hey, I was just talking to you, and then I had to start the show. I'm really sorry that this interrupted that. Let me see what you have said over. I got to log back into Teams, and I can see if it's something I can handle right now. Yoink. I will 100% get back to you right after the show ends. But if it's something I can do here, that's great. Okay, so giddy up. I approve this. If British snacks and sweets are like this, all right, I'm game. I like it. I regret not buying the cake. So you think? Oh wait, this says cakes. I see. Do you think they're cakes or biscuits? And Robbie, what about you? Are they cakes or are they biscuits? Let's hear from the authority here. The boys over on the other side. Okay, Robbie, you did send me something. Ping Phil for correct names. Just sent it over to you. Okay. If it's for Stripe, no problem because we do have them in the system, so I'll handle that. I'll get that taken care of. Tom says that they are indeed cakes and not biscuits. Well, that's weird because I just had biscuit dust go down my throat. Woo. Good golly. Cakes are made with sponge. Oh boy, do we have an arm wrestle going on between Tom and Robbie? All right, we're going to have a cage match. It's just not the same if those cakes don't have a spicy component. Well, they're still choking me, so yeah, biscuit dust. Cakes versus biscuit comes down to a density and fluffiness. Well, to be fair, the cookie is quite fluffy, but there is a dense aspect to the rest of the. Oh man, that made my eyes water. To the rest of the delicacy. So maybe I shouldn't eat them so fast and actually chew them and not inhale them. The band name. Biscuit Dust. Pretty good. Do they only come in orange flavor? Or are there other options? Man, like, whew. All right, well, you know what? I could probably find out if they come in others, right? Because I have the power of the interwebs at my disposal. All right, so here we go. Let's see what else we've got out there. Twin pack. Why do they look so different? So that's the orange ones. These all look like 30, a pack of 30. What? Digestives. What's going on there? The Mega Bucks. These ones are resealable. Why? You're going to eat them, right? No need to reseal. Raspberry version. I like that. They're not. It's not this official. Is this the brand though, or is it Jacobs? That's the brand. Now I'm confused. Let's go back to Jacobs. Jacobs. Bali, did you buy these here like at Meijer, or where did you find this? Okay, so this appears to be the only one, the only option. I gotta move this microphone because it's the whole stand is right in front of the screen. There we go. So yeah, it looks like maybe that's the only brand that they make. Other options are wrong. I'd throw down if there was a raspberry one. Oh, but available. They now do donuts. Really? And what is your verdict on that? Maybe they're not Jacobs? Or they just whoa. Oh, is it the orange stuff in there too? I didn't know this was a thing. This seems like quite the industry. How did I not know this? Man, I gotta get out more. Seriously, what's wrong with me? Interesting. McVitie's is the U.S. brand. Is the U.K. brand, sorry. I tried Joe Nuts, and they were awful. That's also a terrible name if that's not a typo. The hey Allison, the dark chocolate biscuits can recommend with coffee. Okay. Interesting. They're like Twinkies with orange jelly. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound necessarily like the greatest of inventions, but it probably works for an American market, to be honest with you. A type of sweet orange, normally seedless. Oh, I see. So looking for other flavors. This isn't a brand. It's actually orange is the... I hope I'm saying it right. I'm probably not. I'm probably butchering it. But Jaffa is somebody say yes, you're saying it right, or no, you're not saying it right. I'm gonna Google Translate this. A large oval orange of a thick-skinned variety. Jaffa. Little emphasis on the A. Jaffa. That sound more appropriate? Jaffa or Jaffas. I thought it looked weird. I'm still going to try the blue box because it looks a bit different. If you need somebody to back you up or play cleanup, you just let me know. So should be only orange flavor. Correct. Yes. Both the UK guys. Jaffa. All right. You have to say it in a British accent. I don't know if I can do that. I don't want to insult people in this show more than I already do. Yeah, imagine if you're from Essex. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Now I'm gonna have to Google that too. What is an Essex? Essex, uh, what a dialect? Oh man, there's a YouTube video. This should be great. How to do an Essex accent. Okay, I'm just gonna listen to this guy for a second and see what he says. Learn learn the Essex accent in under 2 minutes. So instead of face, you have. He says that you go wider, so it's instead of face, it's face. Like it's almost American. Instead of hooray, it's hooray. I should throw this up on the thing so you guys can see this and then tell me if he's accurate or not. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Um, this is the content that I came here for. Maybe we should do more regional snacks because maybe people would be interested in me trying foods that they're familiar with, but I've never seen before. That sounds like a good, maybe Balu's onto something here. I should give Balu like a budget. So like, okay, go find stuff, right? Man, that made that coughing fit that I had with these biscuit/cakes gave me a wheeze. Flared up my asthma. Jeez. Good times, everybody. Good times. I'm so glad that we're able to provide you with NDI/Snacks on Stream UK edition. And oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. I love it. Love it. Alrighty. So anything else that we want to actually talk about NDI wise? Because I'm happy to go down that road with you as well. Yeah, there's some moving parts. I got 13 minutes before I gotta help Robbie out and then get on the road. But yeah, all good. The office is not closed on Friday, although I'm away. They will still be operating, and they've been working like crazy here this past week to get things under control. On Monday, however, there is a national holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so the office will be closed observing that federal holiday. Just FYI, if you're submitting stuff over the weekend, please be aware that Monday we are closed for business, and we will reopen on Tuesday. I'll be back. I travel back on Monday. I'll be back. We'll do a show on Tuesday, so there won't be any hiccup there unless I come down with something, but that's obviously never the plan. So be sure to join us on Tuesday at 11. We will probably go more than an hour on Tuesday. I was watching the intro and thought, or I was watching the Snacks on Stream intro and thought, I got to get some of my guys back on here. I got to get Senseless back on here because he's got a new studio set up at home, and so it'd be great to have him broadcast from there and join us on the show and chat about. Senseless is now the help desk manager, so he's in charge of the ticketing system, and he's doing a great job. And he's got a couple of people working for him. Yeah, it's really moving in a positive direction. It's not all on me to make sure it all works, and so he reports to me, so I am a part of the equation still. But he's been handling that quite well over the past transition period just a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's that's onward, and he. So I should have him on the show. We could talk about his new role and how that's going, but also, just the NDI world and how it's all being handled. He actually he belongs to a group. They do like a podcast, and I think they do streaming stuff, and he's in the board game world. So he's like invented board games, things that you didn't know about him. Actually, I have his, what is it? His like commercial for his game is on here. Do I still have it? No, it's not listed here. Anyways, his game is called Godspeed, and it's a hefty game. I don't even know if you can buy it anymore. It might be a limited edition at this point. But he has a game called Godspeed, and excuse me, he invented it with another guy that I know, and it's pretty great, pretty good stuff. So I own it. It's at my house. Anyway, so I should have him on the show at least and get him to kind of give us an update as to what's going on with his role at Bird Dog and where he fits in these days. And he's, like I said, he does streaming stuff, so he's kind of a natural type of thing. Oh, and Frank put a link to, that's probably the video there. So let me open this on Twitch and click on that. Frank is one of his guys. So, oh, and of course I can't see that chat. All right, well, I know where it is. It is on YouTube, so we can pull it up. But I used to, oh, look, it's at Walmart. Thanks, Brayton. So apparently it's available for purchase at Walmart. So I didn't know they sold that in Walmart. You've made it, Senseless. The big time. You sell at Walmart. Congratulations. But yeah, it's a big game. It comes with a lot of stuff. So it's it's a standard board game that is of higher quality. So it's not $10. I'll put it that way. But it's pretty cool. And yeah, he invented it, which is, you can't say that about very many people. Apparently, inventing games is really hard. You wouldn't think it because there's so many on the market, but they make you jump through tons of hoops, and then they like test it out with people, and they make you change it and do a whole bunch of stuff. And it takes a very long time to get it to print, and then somebody has to like invest in it and actually print it. So, now the commercial, if you watch the commercial on YouTube, he had no part in that. He's like, it doesn't even really like it does kind of line up with the game, but he was like, I don't know who that actor is. I don't know who wrote the script, like all that. Like, that wasn't us. That wasn't us putting that together, but it was just kind of a quick little YouTube promo for when it launched. So there you go. Good times. Oh, historical cake flavors include pineapple, cherry, blackcurrant, passion fruit, orange, and cranberry. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Have you played with the Silicone 2 beta yet for the cameras? No, I haven't. I probably should do that soon. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance before Thursday or Tuesday's show, but I might leave it with somebody to at least update one of the cameras to Silicone 2, and then we can have a look and see how that goes. Be good to do some discovery on that anyways. So, yeah, let me try and see if I can get somebody to play around with that if they get a chance, and we'll have a look at that next week at some point. Maybe I should have one of the sales guys on the show next week, and we can talk about it. It's a good idea. Well done. You guys are always full of good ideas. Okay. Let's make sure we've covered all our loose ends here. I'll send some details when I get to it. Oh, I would appreciate that, Tom. On Silicone 2, I'm really keen to find time to try using the RTSP stream to present a thumbnail preview on the Crestron panel for PTC Control and Live Preview. So that I understand. RTSP is not active yet on this first public beta version. So that's coming. But, man, can you guys hear that wheeze? It's so weird. I hope not. But anyways, so that RTSP, RTMP is not on the first iteration of Silicone 2, but it will be a part of, the eventual release. I don't know what the timeline is, but SRT and HX2 and I think HX3 are enabled on the current beta. So have a little look-see. From what I've heard, you can, like, HX3 is kind of like a dial. Like, you turn up the bandwidth and it lowers the latency. It kind of like, it has this effect, and you can kind of decide where you're going to set it. And the picture's relatively the same, but if you want lower latency, you have to turn up the bandwidth. And it can go all the way to full. Like, basically, it's not considered full NDI if you have HX selected, but it's pretty much that. Like, that's what it is. You can turn up to 150 megs and probably get the same performance. But why would you do that if you could have an FPGA chip doing it? But anyways, I digress. But yes, please feel free to send us details. We would appreciate what it is that you're up to. And that Crestron module, like I said, I know it's one of the higher things on the list, primarily because, like, when the industry started, when I started here, a lot of it was we're going to sell a product. You plug it into your system, you access the web UI, you control it with Studio Monitor. It was a very surface level integration, but it quickly has become more about here's the product and here are all the API commands, and you can control it in your own installation. And so people have their own custom touchscreen controllers, and they're using the API to manipulate the cameras that way. And they're not even really using the web UI. They're not going there to access the camera and to set up color or whatever. They're either using cam control for that, like general setup, and then they're actually controlling the camera via the API over their own customized unit. So there's lots to talk about there, but that's kind of the way that it's going, where BirdDog is, we're still going to make, nice, attractive web UIs to use, but we are definitely conscious, way more conscious than we were, about the cross-platform integration stuff and making it available so people can actually integrate. So that's the reasoning behind the high level of API and all the work that's gone into making that what it is, so that people can integrate it and get it to work as they want it to. So we're pretty excited that that's coming along, because that means that when we launch new products, it should be enabled pretty quickly on most of those things too. It's good coffee. I'm using my Ember mug. Jeremy, if he was here, would be proud to know that Ember is being used today. Mine's in nice condition, so yeah, I got to charge it up, but it's got all weekend to charge, so we should be good. Alrighty, so so thank you so much, Balu, and everybody else for coming along on this little trip with this new little experience. These, what do we say, Jaffa cakes? Now I gotta check again. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, Jaffa cakes. Okay, so a large oval orange of a thick skin variety. People often say I have thick skin. Actually, no, they never say that. So Jaffa cakes. If it were up to me, and I didn't have to consider the opinions of the other guys in the office, these are quite good. I'd be interested in hearing a little more from Tom and from Robbie and Phil and the guys over on across the pond. What other sort of cakes and treats and things should I be looking at in the UK for things to try? Remember, I'm from Canada, and a lot of our chocolate is, crosses the pond, and we share that in common. But this I haven't had before. So I should totally buy a box of Joe Louis and eat those on camera, because those, I know I'm going to like those. But yeah, always willing to take suggestions. Like I said, it might get to a place where I need to have a budget and order stuff and try things over time. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Really appreciate that. All right, folks, I am going to wrap it up. It is right around 12 o'clock here in the U.S. in the eastern, on the eastern side of the states. And so I really appreciate you coming along. Hopefully you have a great weekend. I am looking forward to spending some time down in Florida and working at that conference. But my wife and I are both going and both participating, so that should be a lot of fun. What are jelly babies? Well, first of all, that does not sound like something you should be eating. Jelly babies. Jelly babies. This does not. Are they made by Maynards or Menards? Depends on how you, what part of the country you're from. I Googled them, or Amazon them. All right. I mean, we can give that a try. I'm a big fan of wine gums, and so that, I'd be down for trying other things that are made by that company. I think it's the same company. Anyways, okay. Noted. I will add it to a list. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and you've having a good 12 p.m. Hopefully you've had a good. Thank you, Frank. a good weekend. You're looking forward to a good weekend. We will be back on Tuesday, all things being equal, and I have considered all things. So you shall see us again next week. Same time, same place, 11 o'clock here in the U.S. And I'm looking forward to spend a little more time with you guys. So take care of yourselves out there. It's a crazy world and lots of stuff going on. But take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you in the next week. Halfway through January, we'll be done by the next time we see each other. So be well, have a great weekend, and we will see you in a few days. Take care, guys. Bye.
I'm not making the same mistakes again.
No, you're making all new ones.